Hello my beautiful souls and welcome to my tarot card channel. If you're new here, my name is Jem, and in today's pick card reading, we're going to be discussing what do people assume based off of your looks. So in pick card readings, you can view them how you like, you can watch the whole video, you can watch whatever pile catches your eye. As long as you take what resonates and leave the rest, know that the way that I read tarot is about self-reflection. It's about showing you the different options you have. And of course, it's for entertainment purposes, so don't take anything too seriously. Know to trust yourself. You have your own free will. So, if you'd like to keep an eye out for what title and vote for what title and thumbnail we do next, make sure to follow and watch out for the polls. And let's hop into the pile selection. So, for pile 1, we have this beautiful, gorgeous baddie. She's got a side part. She's got really, well-groomed eyebrows. They're, somewhat, thinner. And arched. She's got beautiful lashes. She's got this eyeliner on underneath. She's got green eyes. She's got beautiful lips, beautiful nose. And she's just looking at the camera. She looks like she's taking a selfie. So if that catches your eye, please pick pile 1. And then for pile 2, we have this beautiful dewy queen. Her hair is got texture in it. She's got glitter on her body. She's looking very dewy. She's got green eyes, she's got a smoky eye going on, she's got a tattoo, and she's got this cute little very thin necklace. She's got a lot more blush on her cheeks, so blushing could be significant. Also, she's got beautiful eyes, and her eye makeup's really making her eyes pop out. So if that catches your eye in any way, please pick pile 2. And then for pile 3, we have this other beautiful, gorgeous baddie. She looks like old money aesthetic. She's got beautiful blue eyes. Her eyes are more laid down, they're glued down. You know how people add that gel to lay down their eyebrows. She also has these beautiful natural pink lip. She's got this thicker jewelry on, and her hair is super smooth. It looks shiny, healthy, and it's also parted to the side. So if that catches your eye, please pick pile 3. Okay, let's hop into the piles. Hello, my beautiful pile 1s. If you chose this thumbnail, this will be your reading on what do people assume based off your looks. So, let's talk about some of the messages I'm getting from your thumbnail first. So from your thumbnail, I'm getting, you could definitely have a very unique look. Another message I'm getting is, especially with this peacock here, another message I'm getting though from your thumbnail is you could be very naturally beautiful. Very natural. Maybe the little things you do are very subtle. The makeup you use is very subtle. I think you could also be, for some of you, maybe you guys wear minimalistic jewelry. Maybe small little dangly earrings or small dainty necklaces. And those could be all different things that people notice about you when they first see you. Another thing I'm getting, you could have really nice hair. It's your hair is very healthy and shiny and maybe even a little bit oily. I'm also getting, but it's looks healthy. It's not dry, you know? Another thing I'm getting is people could love your eye color. You could have beautiful eyes. Maybe specifically you could have green eyes. Another thing I'm getting is people could really like your subtle arch of your brow. It's very feminine and not super angular, but it's soft. Maybe there's a thing of soft beauty. So that's what I have with your thumbnail, but let's get into these cards. So what do people assume based off your looks? So with the Two of Swords is about making a decision. She looks a little bit concerned in this reading, in this card. She looks a little bit concerned. She's looking at the two different options and she's weighing them out, basically. So with this card, what I'm getting is, first off, people could view you as a fashionista. It's you're always getting your clothes on maybe really expensive clothes. Maybe you have really nice clothes. And it's you're oh, I only paid $5 for this. Or, oh yeah, I thrifted it. Oh yeah, like you could always have your outfits on fleek or on point, sorry. Your outfits could always be on point. And I think that's also another thing that people first notice. But you could always be like someone who loves a good bargain. That could be a message. Besides that though, what I'm overall getting from the Two of Swords is like you could be someone who's very calculated, very maybe analytical, somebody who is thinks heavily and is always thinking, maybe always busy too. Like you're always like weighing out the options or being very very calculated and selective on maybe what it is you spend your money on or who it is you give your energy to. That could be something. Maybe you're someone who likes to hold on to your money. That could be another message that's coming out. And like it's because you're saving it for big important things. Like that could be a big message. Like people assume that you're like, you know, paying off like maybe your student loans or you're paying off maybe a mortgage, or you know, you're just like you're like saving your money, like you're very responsible, very responsible, and I think people assume that about you. Another thing too, you could be someone who maybe avoids confrontation, which that's what it says with the Two of Swords. Two of Swords is more of like somebody who's indecisive. But seeing that we have the Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands, maybe this is something about you that's changing. It's like instead of like avoiding conflict and trying to like please everybody in the room, it's like you're not afraid maybe to speak up and, you know, say something that's on your chest. And that's what I'm kind of getting with this card here. So people could assume that about you is like you maybe to them are very quiet or like to yourself, but like when it comes to, you know, other people or when you need to speak up, you do. People could also assume that you're kind of like in your own world. For some of you, this could be like you're really focused, you're really busy, and you're like maybe not fully emotionally available to give them like all your time and energy because like you're like maybe tackling bigger things at the moment, especially with the Ten of Wands. So yeah, that's like basically messages I was getting from the Two of Pentacles. Like I'm kind of getting like you're like the vibe of like you watch people but you don't participate, or you're, you know, somebody who sees everything, you know, everything that's going on, but you don't like react, you don't, you know, fight, like you kind of just like observe, like a very observant person. Okay, let's talk about the Peacock. With the Peacock, basically this is about beauty. You have a lot of inner beauty, outer beauty. I think your look could be very particular, very unique. And it's almost like a taste. You know, it's like some people are, it's almost like you need to meet the right people in order for the right people to get you or to understand you. Like, that's what I'm kind of getting. Like, the peacock sometimes is, like, misunderstood. Like, it's not, like, the peacock is beautiful. It has these beautiful feathers, and it's, like, that's how they attract their mate or whatever. And some people may overlook that. And it's, like, with you, pile one, it's, like, you are, like, the gem in the, or, like, the needle in the haystack. You're, like, the gem in the, you know, what is it, in the rough or whatever. And, you know, there's only like a select few people who really like truly, you know, notice or like acknowledge how much of a gem you are. And they're like, wow, like, I don't know how other people can't see this, you know, like, and I think that could come with maybe more of your inner beauty. Like, your outer beauty is, like, obviously you're gorgeous, obviously you're beautiful, But it's almost like people they take that a little bit for granted, and it's like there's more underneath. There's so much more underneath. And what's underneath is like seriously the most amazing person that anyone has ever met. And that's you, pile one. So you could be very beautiful, very striking. You definitely have a presence to you. When you pull up, it's like, look at that. Like, think about somebody who has a very, like, I'm thinking about the Oscars. And you know how everybody's trying to pull up in like the most strangest outfits to like call attention? It's almost like you may do the same thing. It's like you purposely stand out and you constantly are getting attention. And you may do it out of, your own creativity, your own self-expression. Look, I'm thinking of, there's this one guy at the Oscars. I don't watch that stuff, but I saw clips of it on TikTok, and it was like this guy who wore like this black mask, and it was all shiny, and it was like super sick, but no one knew who he was. But the mask was so like called so much attention to him that everyone now recognizes him as the mask guy, like the guy that wore the black mask. So what I'm trying to say with that is like, there's just something about you that really calls attention. And it's like, almost like maybe what it is you are remembered for. Like, so when people look at you, it's like they remember you as, oh, she's this way, or she's the girl with the X, Y, and Z, or she's the girl that wore, that neon green or something. Like something that just really calls attention. And by the way, just to spill a little bit tea on that, obviously there's a reason to why people do that at the like Met Gala and at those premieres and shit. And that's why you see it on TikTok. That's why, all these different things is because the new currency is your attention. So, they're purposely trying to call attention to themselves so that their music or their work or whatever it is that they create is more recognized and more noticed. It's basically like an advertisement. Them just walking in wearing this mask, And like, I know some people could think very negatively about that and be like, oh my God, I hate about it, which I get it. And I agree. But also, if you think about it as like somebody who is in that position, right, where you're like, oh, I just want to make music and I want, people to remember my name. I want people to recognize my music and maybe, go out of their way to go listen to my music. It makes sense to why someone would wear, a really attention-calling mask. And people are like, some of the negative comments would be like, oh my God, this person's just seeking attention. It's like, yeah, that's the motherfucking point. Like, duh. Like, those comments piss me off. But anyways, with the 6th house, so hold on, before we move on to that, with the peacock, it's kind of giving with like the message of beauty. It's like what people assume is like you're no longer chasing like validation. It's almost like you are maybe in a way of like self-expressing yourself creatively, not in a way of like seeking validation from others, right? And trying to get their approval, but more of like, through your own self-expression. And it's almost like this message of maturity with this card in particular, of someone who evolves with the sense of understanding true beauty. It's not about the beauty on the outside. That's surface level. That's, that's a, it's like there's more underneath to you. There's so much more underneath to you. And people see that within you, pile one. It's like it radiates outward and it like oozes from within. People view you as someone who's evolved, healed, unbothered. You don't give a shite, pile one. And people can tell. People are like, they love that energy you give off. You're just like, I don't give a shit anymore. I don't care anymore. And it's super sexy. And I'm also just getting like, you're like, okay, I don't even care if people find it sexy. Like, I do it for me, to begin with. And you also give off like someone who doesn't hold grudges, somebody who's kind of like, you know what, it's water under the bridge. I already have too much on my plate right now to even worry about the little stressors. People don't like me, people leave. Like, another thing too that I've learned over this period of time with having like a tarot card channel and doing social media is like the biggest lesson that I've learned, and I feel like it's kind of coming out with this reading, is like, you get to a point where you really just like stop trying to please everybody. You really get to a point where you're like, you know what? I don't care anymore. I cannot, it's impossible for me to try to please everybody. So I'm done trying to, do that. I'm just going to get comfortable with that discomfort of somebody thinking I'm wrong, or somebody thinking that what I'm doing is wrong, or somebody that's thinking that X, Y, and Z. Again, I can't control that. I can't control that. And like, for example, with like, getting bad reviews, or, like I have a clothing brand, and someone left like a nasty review on my clothing brand, and it was just like, bro, I'm literally trying my best. Like, it's like, it sucks. But, I realize he's valid in his response. He's just trying to give constructive criticism, which will help me grow. And then on top of it, yeah, the message was nasty. Yeah, he left a really bad review. But I could learn from this, and I could also just be like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Leave the hate comments you want. As long as the overall percentage is above average and it's good, decently good, then that's all I could ever ask for. And it gets to a point where when you start to, it's almost like the universe really starts to shape you into becoming your highest self. Like who I want to be is somebody who is unbothered by that shit. And it's like, oh, the universe is like, oh, you want to be unbothered by this shit? Okay, well, here's all the shit. Like, they just throw all the fucking garbage straight in my direction. They're like, okay, now start bothered by it. Like, the universe just shapes you into becoming that person. And with you, Pile 1, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's really giving off like you mastered yourself. You are mastering some sort of lesson in life. And the people around you, when they see you, and what they assume off of your looks, is that you are somebody who has mastered themselves, mastered their own mind, mastered their own body. It's like it really became not about the external things, but more about the internal pleasures, the self-fulfillment. And that's, the most important thing. It became less about like what I'm going to do once I get to this point, and more of like enjoying the journey. I hope that makes some sense. Anyways, next message we have is the 6th house. So the 6th house is about the house of health. This is my deck, so I drew up this card, and what I wrote specifically for this card, and what I wrote down for your reading, and what I was getting is that you could be currently feeling overworked right now. So how people could be viewing you at this moment is maybe a little bit overworked, maybe a little bit disorganized, or somebody who is struggling with a routine or feeling burnt out. That could be something. Or maybe that you're being critical of yourself. That could be something. Vice versa, the opposite of this message, and what this could also mean is that maybe you're taking very good care of your health. Maybe you're prioritizing your health. You are, maybe overcoming a really challenging point of time where maybe you were, very overworked, and it's like now you're finally able to relax. You're finally able to maybe slow down the pace and not worry too much about it, because, burning out is coming from a place of anxiety and not like it's not going to help you in the long run. It's only like going to sabotage you in the long run, you know? So with the sixth house, it's really about like, you could be taking good care of your health, whether it's your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. You could be, you know, giving yourself some grace, not being so hard on yourself anymore, being like, you know what, I'm only human. I'm doing the best that I can. I feel like you could also be someone who people could also see you are somebody with high standards, and you don't just let anybody into your energy, and you could have high standards when it comes to how you view yourself and what you require of yourself. And that could be also another message that's coming out of what people assume. You could also, people may view you as someone who's mentally a little bit overwhelmed, but you're very good at like maybe dealing with it. So, and then what we have with the Five of Wands, the Five of Wands is all about competition. So there could definitely be some people who feel in competition with you. Or people could be assuming that you're very competitive. That could be what the main message is. And you're like somebody who's willing to fight to the very end towards maybe your goals or your ambitions, and not afraid to, you know, fight for what it is you want or fight for what it is you believe in. So people could be like, you know, rooting for you and like seeing that you're, you know, on this long journey or this fight. You're like, you know, or people could assume that you're like competing against other people in that same like category that you might be in. Like you have competition in where it is you work or what it is you do. And people are like cheering you on, wanting you, even if you're not even, it's like people are assuming you're in competition with these people, even though you may not even be in competition. Like you're like, I'm not in competition with these people. I'm only in competition with my past version of myself. I'm my own unique person. I stand out from the crowd with my uniqueness. So there is no one to compete against besides myself, because they're like me. You catch what I'm saying? And like, that's another thing too, that was such a limiting belief about like starting up a business and doing social media and stuff. Like everybody's limiting, or like not everybody, but the limiting belief that I heard constantly was, oh, it's just so competitive. This niche is just so competitive, or this area is so competitive. It's really not. There are so many specific areas that you could dive into and, you know, branch out in that area and have that be your area because you're your own unique person. Like, for example, there's tons of people that do, you know, tarot, but what makes me stand out in particular is my Pinterest boards. And that's why people will come back to me to see my readings, because of Pinterest board. And that's my niche. And on top of it, I'm female. Like, obviously, there's a lot of female readers out there too. But like, you know, what would be different is like maybe wanting to listen from a male reader, or wanting to hear more of like, you know, other type of, it's like there's so many different things that you could do differently that can make you stand out. And it's not actually competition. It's not actually that difficult that people make it seem. So, but anyways, I think the overall message is like, people notice that maybe you paid off your student loans, maybe you paid off like a big bill, or you're finally like, you know, financially secure enough to, and you're like thinking very wisely about how you spend money. It's like you're no longer chasing dopamine through buying shit online, and then you end up receiving it and you're like, I still feel like shit, you know? Like you're no longer like, it's like you're almost like thinking very wisely with your money. And you could be definitely somebody who likes a budget, you know, or likes to, you know, get a good bargain. And I'm definitely getting, like, you maybe have dropped a really big burden, or dropped off like a burden that was maybe been weighing you down. It's like you finally were able to release those wands and drop them off and like feel a lot more relaxed. It's like you're finally hitting the feeling of, thank God, I finally reached this point. I finally can relax now. I finally can maybe, you know, slow down a bit. And it's almost like things are coming easier to you. You're not carrying as much responsibility as you once did. And it's almost like people see you and they see how much you can handle, and they're like, holy shit, how the fuck is 𝘰𝘰𝘠 doing this? How is 𝘰𝘰𝘠 managing all this stuff? Like, definitely, you know, inspired by you, but also proud that you know, take care of yourself as well and have a beautiful balance with your work life. So that's what I have for you, my beautiful 𝘰𝘰𝘠s. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in one of my next ones. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile 2s. If you chose this thumbnail, this will be your reading on what do people assume based off of your looks. So we're going to first talk about your thumbnail, and then we'll hop into your cards. But with your thumbnail, basically what I was getting, people could assume that maybe you're a little bit like gothic or emo or grunge, like has like an aesthetic of like grunge look, or just like this like sexy, smoky, like it's just giving somebody who wears like streetwear, or, you know, has like, you know, messy like dreads, or like crimped hair, or somebody who's just like indie, or, you know, has like a very unique style to them. So that's what I'm getting with that. If that doesn't resonate with you, I think the overall message that I'm getting is like, you just have a really, really, really unique style. But for the rest of you, I'm really getting like grunge look. Like, you look like somebody who listens to like, you know, rock or heavy metal or screamo, or listens to like Deftones or like old rock music or something. But if that doesn't resonate, you don't have to take it. That's just, you know, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting out, especially with like this judgment card. Maybe you're a big like horror fan, like you like horror movies, or there could be something about zombies. I'm thinking about, there's a song that just came into my head. What was it? In the back of my Dragula. Anyways, just forget about that. But so that could resonate for some of y'all. But for the rest of you, the main message I'm getting from these cards is how people look at you, or what people assume, is that you are going somewhere in life. You are going to be like going somewhere in life, pile 2. People see the potential in you and they're like, holy shit. And they want to support you. They're like, I know pile 2 is going to be like on the cover of Vogue. Like, I know that pile 2 is going to be modeling, or, you know, in the movie industry, or making movies, or acting, or X, Y, and Z, or making music, or there's just something that you're going to do that everybody like already assumes that you are going to excel in and do like an amazing job while doing it. Which is so interesting. Like, you have many options. Another thing too is like, you literally could do anything and it will work out for you. That's literally how people view you, pile 2. Another thing I'm getting is like, people could assume that you're like waiting for something bigger to come towards you, like a bigger opportunity, like you're willing to take the leap of faith to go, you know, try something new, or try something that's actually more fulfilling, or try like calling your name. So that could be a message for some of you. But for the rest of you, I feel like maybe this is something that you're like already doing. You're definitely not somebody who's small-minded. You're very open-minded, and definitely open to like all the beautiful possibilities that the universe wants to give you and hand to you. it's almost like you could be also very genetically good looking, that it's like you could post a picture, just a picture of you, and you'd get like 1,000 likes. Or you could just post a picture of you and music in the backdrop, and it's like it goes viral. You know, it's like you literally, maybe you have like pretty privilege. It's just something about you also just being very attractive, and it's like you just have the genetics or something. Or this could be something that you worked for. But other than that, though, you're just not somebody to settle for less. You're somebody who's like very passionate, very fiery. Sagittarius energy here. It's like giving, very passionate person, and loves to, you know, dabble in the arts, loves the arts. And so you give like expansive energy, somebody who has like limitless potential, somebody who could like reach to the highest highs and achieve those goals, and being like, you know, even if it was difficult, it's like you didn't give up and you kept doing it anyways, and you got through it and you did it. And it was like, that's how people see you. That's literally like, people like predict your future, and like that's where they see you, and like they're like, I knew 𝘭𝘰𝘰𝘬𝘪𝘯𝘨 was gonna be famous, or like I knew 𝘭𝘰𝘰𝘬𝘪𝘯𝘨 was gonna be rich, and like I knew it. So that's what I'm really getting. Some people could also assume that with the 8 unanswered messages, this card is very interesting. This could be either you sending out these messages, or this could be you not responding to them. So take it how it resonates, but let's talk about if it's you sending these messages. If it's you sending these messages, this could be how people are perceiving it as, like someone who maybe has a hard time with sitting in discomfort, specifically when it comes to maybe someone not responding, or texting back. That could be something in particular, because it literally is right there. And then, so it's like kind of like needing to control the situation, and like by this person sending so many messages, it's like they're just trying to control the situation into making it better. But it's like, you don't need to do that. You're just doing it because you feel uncomfortable. You can't sit in this discomfort of maybe feeling like what you did was wrong, or maybe feeling like, you know, somebody's upset with you. But it's okay if somebody's upset with you. You know, that's not your problem to fix their feelings, or, you know, like it's almost like giving like the need for detachment, to detach away from people's emotions and not caring so much how people feel about you. So that could be a message. And in a way, some people, like the person who sends all these messages, and when I said like you did something wrong, I'm not saying that you actually did something wrong, but you may be having like the wound of feeling like, oh, I did something wrong, you know, and like that's a wound. Specifically, oh, what's the wound? Feeling wrong. It's like, it's not rejection, maybe judgment. It could feel like judgment, feeling judged. Yeah, I mean, look, judgment's right fucking there. So it could definitely be feeling, it could be the wound of judgment coming in a little bit here. So people could like assume that maybe you are very critical of yourself, and it's almost like maybe you care a lot about what other people think. But it's almost like this journey that you're going to be taking is going to be teaching you. Don't mind my Vicks. I didn't even realize I had this in my hand. It's almost like it's going to be teaching you to no longer care what people think about you, because it's like, no matter what you do, people are going to hate you. No matter what you do, people are going to think you're wrong. No matter what it is you do, people are going to, you know, somehow be angry at you for some reason. But it has really nothing to do with you. And like the best thing that you can do is to just collect back your energy, just ignore it, and just get comfortable with that discomfort. Being like, it's okay. Reminding yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror and being like, it's okay that this person might be mad at me. I don't even know. I might not even, like, this person is like, are you mad? Like, they don't even know. And they're automatically assuming too that just because this person didn't respond that they're mad at them. But it's like, you don't even know that. And this person could just be busy doing something, or maybe they just don't have the mental capacity to respond right now. Maybe they're feeling overwhelmed. They could be seeing your messages, but they don't have to respond to you. Like, they don't have to respond. They might just be overwhelmed. And to be honest, this energy is overwhelming. Anxious attachment, anxious, insecurity. And like, pile 2, you are way too beautiful to be insecure. You are way too beautiful inside and out to be insecure. If that doesn't resonate with you, if you don't feel like you are this person and you're more of like the person ignoring you or ignoring them, then this could be a message about, like, you have people chasing you. People could be assuming that maybe you have a lot of love, like, options, or a lot of people, like, wondering what you're up to, but you're, like, just ignoring them, kind of like in your own bubble, focusing on what it is you want to do, focusing on yourself, maybe just not having the capacity to respond. And people maybe have been noticing that you've been leaving undelivered, or people might be assuming based off of your looks, like, you're the type of person to not text back, or you're the type of person to leave them on red or not answer their calls or something. And maybe it's more of just like, maybe you're not the type of person to like be on your phone a lot, or, I don't know, many different reasons, but that could just be something in particular. Like, you just like don't want to read messages, or like maybe you're just not the type of person to respond to people when maybe a lot of stuff's going on. Anyways, you could be emotionally hard to access. That could be the main message too, is like when people are trying to like get to you emotionally, it's like they can't get to you. Or when people try to like get under your skin, it's like you do not let them. And that could be also another message. Okay, so with the Judgment card in reverse, you could be very critical of yourself, or maybe critical of others, and that could be something in particular. Or this could be in reverse, and it's like you're releasing the self-criticism, you're releasing the insecurities that maybe have previously resided. Like, for example, insecurities are normal. Insecurities are healthy, or not healthy, but like, it's normal. It's human. And everybody has their insecurities. But it's important to recognize when you're feeling insecure about something and how to uproot them, because sometimes insecurities hold us back in life. So, for example, like, the biggest thing that I could think of is like, think about like a man who's insecure, right? They're insecure about being manly. So whenever someone says something that they don't like, or they say something that might be a little bit feminine, they like react, just really strangely out of proportion to the, like, maybe the message, just like strangely very aggressive or angry about it. And you're like, wait, why are you so mad? Like, it's just like a strange reaction. It's like overly reactive to that. That would be a sign that that's potentially an insecurity. Maybe this person was just like told when they were young from their father, or from, X, Y, and Z, their friends, making fun of them for being a little bit feminine, or making fun of them for being, not manly. So it was just something that they always carried around, was that thought that, oh, I'm just not manly enough. And that was something that continuously they told themselves throughout their whole life. So whenever something happens with them that made them feel not manly, it would make them angry or reactive or lash out at people. And that's basically what an insecurity is. And the best way that a good way to resolve that and to heal that is to recognize where that insecurity came from, right? Who made you believe this about yourself? And also recognize that those thoughts aren't yours. It was somebody else whoever said that this person wasn't manly enough is because they were insecure about feeling manly. It was that they were insecure about being a little bit too feminine, X, Y, and Z. And also another thing too is like, it's almost like it sabotages you too. Insecurities just sabotage you because like, if only he, you know, would understand that it's actually good to be a little bit feminine. It's actually good to have this whole balance between nurturing and compassion and gentleness and, you know, and maybe, you know, being a little bit like playful in a feminine way is actually, you know, really good sign that this person could be a good father, or that this, you know, it's like almost like it's something that women actually seek or look out for in a man. And it's like, because he doesn't understand that, or he thinks that he needs to be manly enough, it's like he's literally sabotaging his love life. So it's like, you know, that's just an example. Obviously, I'm not saying that's obviously the case for everyone who struggles with that, but I'm just saying, like, as an example, this would be something. So people could like maybe assume that maybe you're like feeling a little bit insecure about something in particular, maybe specifically about some sort of challenge or some sort of upheaval or something that maybe you haven't done before, maybe something that you haven't had the chance yet to build confidence in. Maybe it's like modeling, or, you know, something that you're like, you've been stepping into that maybe feels a little bit uncomfortable. Maybe you've been a little bit hard on yourself about it. And I really think that the universe and the people around you are like, how is pile 2 even insecure? Like, it's actually crazy to me that someone this amazing, someone this beautiful, somebody this confident and powerful can also feel insecure. And it also is something that people could also like about you, is because they are like, wow, she's human. Pile 2 is actually human and has like, you know, isn't perfect. And it's the beauty in the flaws. And so this could be like, you could be working towards getting better at something, or working towards it. And like, that is what's going to help you be less doubtful of yourself and have more confidence in this area. And I think that's what people are noticing about you, is like, you're building confidence, or you're doing things that may feel uncomfortable to you, but it's like you feel called to do it anyways. And I think that's very powerful. People see you as someone who's very powerful. With this Eagle card, it's just reminding me of like the cover of like a rock band, like, with the eagle energy, people could be like just observing you, or there could just be something about like you finally being able to like look up towards the light and like seeing all the different beautiful potential that you have for yourself, and like no longer feeling like limited. If that doesn't resonate, this could just be, you never felt limited ever. You always knew that you could do more. You always knew that you were able to do whatever it is that you wanted in life. And I think that could just be something where how people view you is they view you as someone who's very powerful, and you are not somebody to shy away from your highest self and to your highest perspective, like literally your highest self. So people assume you're spiritually aware. People see you as someone who sees and looks at the bigger picture. You're very strong. You could be a very strong individual. You could definitely have gone through some sort of big transformation. You could be like transforming, shedding like a cocoon, doing like a big like 180. And I think that could be something also, that it's like the change. Change is growth. Constantly changing is constantly growing. And you could be definitely somebody who is evolving like this beautiful butterfly. It's like you have multiple like transformations. You you're definitely someone who has a lot of, you're definitely someone who has a lot of depth. You're a very deep individual. You could be very emotionally deep as well. And people could also assume that you've gone through some difficult times that has really shaped who it is you are today. And not in a way that's self-limiting, like not in a way of like self-limiting beliefs or all these, things my parents told me that hold me back in life, but more in a way of like learning from those pains and learning how to heal them and learning how to forget them and find your own identity, through healing. You're the type of person to rise above drama. With the Sagittarius card, you could be independent, someone who values your freedom. You have a lot of friends. You could be very adventurous. You're someone who's like, I will not stay if I feel bored. Like you'll leave if things start feeling boring. And then with the stairway to light is like, whatever goal it is you're trying to reach for, it's like you're finally going to be able to grasp it and hold it and have it like literally in the palm of your hands. You could definitely be climbing towards something. It's like a staircase to something. You could be very patient towards it, working steadily towards it. With the boring thing, when things get boring, maybe you're the type of person to stick through it even if it's boring. Like if that's like with your career, but maybe when it comes to like love or friends or like parties or something, you could be like, okay, things are starting to feel a little bit boring right now. I'm going to go home. Like you're just like someone who seeks like a lot of adventure in life. So yeah, that's what I have with your cards. Mainly the most important thing is like you could be very strong, softly spoken, high standards, emotionally hard to access. You're going places. You're independent but not lonely. And you're very selective with who it is you give attention. It's like almost like you're walking through a hallway and all these people are looking at you and it's like you don't even look at them. You're like focused on your goal. So that's what I have for you, my beautiful pile 2, and that's what people assume about you. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in one of our next ones. Bye! Hello, my beautiful pile 3s. Welcome to your reading. If you chose this thumbnail, this will be your reading on what do people assume based off your looks. It's 333 right now. So that's funny. So let's talk about your thumbnail first and then we'll hop into your cards. But with your thumbnail, what I'm getting is people could like look at you and assume that you're from like old money. That like old money aesthetic. There could be something about maybe your aesthetic being like old money. You could look like you're, rich and famous from the, like, I think it's from, like, what time period is that? I would say maybe, like, the 60s, but I'm not really sure. Anyways, there could just be something about, with this image, people could really love your hair. You could have very beautiful, shiny hair. It's like almost like you add oil to it and it has this beautiful shine. You could have like highlights. You could have beautiful eyes. You could have like foxy eyes. There could be something about you having like siren eyes or like the shape of your eyes is very unique. You could also wear more like chunky jewelry and could be very flattering for you. I'm also getting you could have like really dewy skin. But what else? Anything else I'm getting? Your image just looks like a young new actress or something. Some young new like actress or new rich famous person. Like I don't know, like it's just really giving somebody who came from old money, somebody who is, on magazines, in photos. It's like people like look up to you. So I think the overall message, what I'm getting is like people could look up to you, people could look up to your beauty, people could find you to be very foxy, very beautiful. It's also like maybe with like the old money thing, could be like you're very wise. You seem like you're older than you look. Like you just have a lot of maturity to you that I think catches people a little bit off guard. But anyways, that's what I'm getting from your thumbnail. Let's talk about your cards. So with the sensitivity card, people could view that you're more like sensitive to the subtle. I think you could be very empathic. Somebody who is, notices like little changes or notices little things very easily through their body. It's like you could be very telling through your body. You could be very intuitive. I'm also getting, you could be very emotionally aware, very self-aware. And you could also just be like a sweetheart. I'm just getting like a sweetheart with this card. So yeah, you just pick up on vibes quickly. You could be someone who's very nurturing, very emotionally intelligent. It's really giving like a mother figure, like just like amazing mother figure. People could like see you as, whether you're a mother or not, people could just see you as being like an amazing parent, especially with this fox here, or like amazing teacher. With the easily affected, so I also have like, you could be someone who's easily affected by your surroundings. Like when you're hanging out with like shitty people, you get drained very easily, or, you know, it's like your body's always telling you messages and it's like you're very in tune to hearing them and knowing what your body needs. And so that's what I'm getting with that card. With the Wheel of Fortune card, what I'm getting from this card is you could be very lucky. You could be a very, very lucky individual, but maybe recently you've been feeling a little bit unlucky. And, you know, it's like life is like a cycle. You know, sometimes there's a lot of ups and then sometimes there's a lot of downs. And of course, it's all about balance. So with the Wheel of Fortune, it could be like maybe you're at your point where you're facing a lot of bad luck at the moment and you're kind of just like you're just like, when is it going to turn up from here? Or when am I going to, you know, my winning streak, or when I'm going to get back my luck? And it's coming soon. I think also it's like maybe you've been through a lot of ups and downs, or maybe your past is very mysterious, or maybe you're someone who doesn't really trust fate or luck, but maybe it's like just, you know, strange things happen to you and it's like the universe, you just are like, oh, I'm just, you know, somehow I'm lucky. Or it's like maybe you're the type of person to work for your luck. Maybe it's not about luck. It's like the hard work that you put in. So overall with the Wheel of Fortune, what I'm getting is like, some people could assume that maybe life has been easy for you, but maybe it hasn't been easy recently, or maybe it hasn't been easy, even though people might assume that your life looks easy. It's like you make it look easy. Pile 3. I'm also getting another message could be maybe people also assume that maybe you haven't had an easy life, but you make it look smooth and pain-free. So it's almost like you're the type of person who maybe had to learn the hard way, or maybe had to learn through trials and errors and actually falling on your butt and not having anybody to maybe help you or guide you. And it was like, that's what maybe really shaped you into being such a good teacher. It's because maybe you really love to teach people everything that you've learned and help people and help and give people some guidance and actually be that guidance that maybe you didn't have. So that could be a really big message. With the fox energy, I'm just getting right off the bat, you could be very foxy. Again, with the eyes, you could have like fox eyes. There could be something about people assuming you to be very smart, very strategic, good in business, good in bed, loyal in relationships, And definitely someone who's hard to fool. It's like you see through people's bullshit. You could also have a very unique laugh. You could have a very funny laugh. You know how like foxes have like really interesting laughs. And they tend to scream a lot, so it could be something about maybe that. What else do we have? With the sensitivity card, I think you could definitely be someone who's very clever and definitely not somebody who's naive. You could be very observant. Another thing too is like you could be the type of person to play chess, not checkers. It's like you think like 5 steps ahead. You don't reveal everything. You might be someone who's like, again, very strategic, very persuasive. Maybe you're someone who doesn't reveal all your cards right from the jump. You like take your time to figure out when it's like maybe the best time to share. And you could be also very charming, very charming. But yeah, so the wise teacher with the fox here, people feel like you know more than what it is you say. And it's almost like you do it in a way to help other learn for themselves. Like it's giving me it's reminding me of like a kid asking a parent a question, and the parent's kind of like very vague about it, or not fully saying it out, like saying exactly everything that they need to do. And it's like, in a way, it's because they're trying to help their kid, almost like think for themselves, or almost like figure it out for themselves. So that's what I'm getting with that. With the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Cups is very heavy, like romance here. So I think there's a lot of either lovers or love options for you, pile 3, that definitely see you as husband or wifey material. Like people see you as the wish fulfillment. People see you as super loyal. People see you as like amazing parent, amazing lover. Someone who like literally is like, I could definitely weather a storm with this person, and I know that we could, like, they just see you as like a team player, or like you're really good at like being loyal. You're like very loyal person. Like you would be an amazing partner. So with the 10 of Cups, people assume someone who wants real love. You could definitely maybe be the type of person to want to start a family. People could assume that you value emotional fulfillment, like spending time with your friends, family, and loved ones. You could definitely be someone who really cares about family, who really cares about long-term happiness. And you're definitely someone who is looking for something long-term, not something that's just, for the night, With the mixology card, there could be someone in particular, like a specific man that's coming out in this reading. If you're like not into men, maybe a specific woman or they, them. But there could just be something about specifically whoever there could be a specific person coming in with that. It's like, that's how they see you. Maybe someone you met at the bar could be something significant, or someone who maybe, I just thought of like Thomas Shelby a little bit. Obviously it's not Thomas Shelby, but there could be something about like this hat here. It reminds me of Thomas Shelby. Anyways, with the mixology card, you could definitely be someone who has a lot of social intelligence. You could be really good at like socializing, meeting new people. You could also be someone who knows how to blend into different environments and feel comfortable in them. Or even if you don't feel comfortable in them, it's like almost like you look comfortable anyways. You could definitely be someone who can read the room. And for some of you, if you're a man watching this, maybe you have a mustache. People could like your mustache. Or people could assume that maybe you like mustaches. Or another message I'm getting is people could assume that you know how to present yourself strategically. Maybe you're someone who is very professional, or looks very always like well put together and professional. You could have a lot of different versions of yourself. Maybe you're the type of person to like shapeshift when it comes to being in different events or different environments. Another thing I'm getting is you could be very charming, very smooth, you know your way around words, and you know how to speak to people and be very flirtatious and charming. And then with the Five of Swords here, the Four of Swords is like the fighting card, and then the Five of Swords is like winning. I'm also so I have my my camera like hanging from my desk over, and like there's a little slit in between the arm that's holding up my camera, and every time I look up to look at your thumbnail, I just see the eyes. So it's almost like, it's like, you know how those pictures of, I'm picturing a picture of somebody wearing like a mask that's covering like the rest of their face, and you just see their eyes. You could have very beautiful eyes. People could get like mesmerized in your eyes. So people could assume that maybe you're a bit of a siren, like you're a little bit of like, I think there could be some men that like fear that it's too good to be true, and that's coming from a place of their own insecurity. But with the Five of Swords, it's like, the Five of Swords is basically people assume that you've been in conflict, or you dealt with challenges, but you're not somebody to like lose easily. You're definitely someone who likes to win. Also, I'm kind of getting, you could be someone who definitely holds your ground no matter the cost. It's like you're not somebody to just like be a pushover. Like, you're not somebody that just pushes over. I'm also getting, you definitely could be someone who likes to outsmart people in arguments. You're definitely somebody who does not forget disrespect. And you're definitely somebody who protects yourself first out of all else, which is very attractive. I'm also getting, you could be someone who is competitive, even when you're not trying to compete. But overall, the message is you could be definitely a social butterfly. You could be soft but dangerous, and somebody who's definitely not easily manipulated, somebody who's learned through hardships, somebody who's definitely the goal long-term partner, and very intuitive. So that's what I do, my beautiful pile threes. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in one.